While it may have been a rainy day in the small community of Susanville, California, the dreary weather did nothing to dampen the spirits of the young anglers participating in the annual Junior Fishing Derby. Organized and hosted by the Lassen Sportsman's Club and sponsored by several local businesses, the Junior Fishing Derby has been a much anticipated spring event in Susanville and Lassen County for 22 years now.
The club in the mid-'80s came together, involved in some lobbying issues dealing with fishing game matters, policy and so forth, and it also decided it needed to do something to kind of give back to the community. So the Lassen Sportsman's Club at that time, really at the urging of Doug Sayers, our president at the time and founder of the Derby, came up with the idea of reviving what had been a tradition years before, and the club embraced it and have been working with it ever since.
Fishing takes place in 2 locations. The younger fisher guys and gals get to cast into the cement pond in Susanville's Memorial Park. For the older attendees, a little more cunning is required as fishing takes place along the banks of the Susan River, which winds its way through the heart of Susanville. Participants competed for a variety of prizes donated by local businesses. Fishing rods and brand new bicycles were awarded to those skilled fishermen who landed the biggest trout. This spry angler was a previous winner from a few years ago.
Tyler, what prize did you win for catching the second biggest fish?
A fishing pole.
A fishing pole.
Wow, do you still use your fishing pole?
Oh yeah, that's for the second biggest fish.
But the real joy came from families spending time together and passing on their love of fishing to a younger generation of future anglers.
Well, we're from Modesto, California, and we have 2 grandsons here. Our daughter lives here, and our son and our daughter-in-law are here, and our 2 grandsons, Kyler and Connor. And my husband did fish derby with his boys years and years ago, and now we're doing it with our grandsons.
But the fun and excitement of the Junior Fishing Derby wouldn't be a yearly tradition without the volunteers who make it happen. Unfortunately, some of those volunteers couldn't make it to the festivities this year.
The Derby this year was dedicated in memory of John Bosky, who had been a long-time Derby volunteer, came out of the Ravendale area and was a very avid fisherman, and really working with the young people to give them the same exposure and opportunity that he had early in his life.
Back at Memorial Park, the fun and games of the Derby eventually came to a close. The winners were announced, and despite the occasional drizzle that sprinkled on the anglers and their families, everyone left happy and content to know they could do it all over again at next year's Junior Fishing Derby.